This is my ego. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you. Man, that's a bright light, man. I didn't want to step up on the stage all hard like I've seen comics doing that like that. Because if you listen quietly, all the car alarms will be going off in the parking lot. So he introduced me as Dave, but I thought I'd introduce you to me formally. I'm fat and pink. Actually, when I get flustered or I get upset, you know, I get real red. I look like the world's largest pimple. Or whitehead. Yeah, you fuckers want to laugh. Hey, Noxema's had a hit on me for like the past 10 years. You should see their CEO, man. He's like De Niro in Untouchables. I want him dead! You remember the girl, too? Like the girl that did the commercials? She was kind of cute, but what you guys don't know is she had rabies. Wait, why am I speaking past tense? Has rabies. Try seeing that coming through your window every Thursday at 4:43 p.m. Come here, Whitey. So this is an improv place, and I got to tell you guys a story. Just recently, a little while ago, I went to an improv place, and I just wanted to see what it was about because I've seen stuff on TV, but it's not the same in real life. Well, it was a good time. It was night at the Improv, but the problem was that they fucked up. They asked me what was on my mind. Asking me what's on my mind is like giving Bernie Madoff your bank account number. It's just some shit you don't do. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's on my mind? Let's see. Anorexic sumo wrestler. Try to do that one. Paraplegic go-go dancer. Grief counselor with Tourette's. I'll improv that one for you. It'd be like, oh, I know when you lose a loved one, it's hard. Piss! Cannibalistic talk show host. Stay tuned, we have some delicious guests coming up next. Brought to you in part by Hannibal Lecter's Hot Dog House. Human, the other white meat. Let's see, what else? Disgruntled JetBlue flight attendant. Oh wait, that's been done. You know what, I want to talk about that guy if you guys don't mind. I know it's a little bit of old news, but I want to talk about him, man, because, me and him have something in common a little bit, would be, both of us would have been fired and arrested. But the thing is that, I would have done it a little differently, man. I probably would have yelled at him, or yelled at the lady that did all that shit. I would have yelled at her like with a Schwarzenegger voice, That would have been entertaining. I'd be like, what are you doing? Sit down! Don't you take that back down from there! We haven't taxied to the gate yet. What the hell is wrong with you? Listen, lady, if you do not comply with FAA regulations, I'll be forced to crash your head in my ass cheeks. Stop laughing, it's not funny. I'm a flying attendant, you idiot! You know what? The JetBlue guy did it all wrong, though, man. He did it all wrong, honestly. What did he do? He took off his shirt, cussed out the plane, said he quit, grabbed some beer, blew the hatch, and jumped out the motherfucker, right? I would have done it differently, or I think he should have done it differently. It would have been funnier if he took his pants off. It's like this. I fucking quit! You know what I'm saying? That would have been better. He would have got arrested a lot sooner, though, man. I mean, come on, how easy is it to spot a guy running through the airport terminal with an armful of beer in his tidy whities? However, he would have went from America's hero to my hero. Brave soul, brave soul. So the elections are upon us, and I figured I'd talk a little bit about it. I get uncomfortable talking about politics because you never know, someone may shoot you. And I'm an easier target to hit than Biggie Smalls. I picked them all from 1,000 yards out. In the middle of a moonless night. So anyway, but I don't really talk about, when it comes to politics, I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. Because I'm so sick of political commercials. I mean, come on, when are we going to have some Christmas commercials? Who's waiting for that? The year 2010 is the year that people piss me off on TV. So anyway, I talk about politicians, not so much their abilities. To me, something used to irk me about George Bush, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. His smirk. Did anybody else ever notice that about him? He always had that little smirk on his face. He was like, I don't know if I'm doing that right. Then again, I'm not president. You guys wouldn't want me to be fucking president. I'm crazy. And anyway, I know why they did it. Because George was a bad speaker. We all know this, right? You know, and I know what it was. He went on the State of the Union. They were always like, don't worry, George. Just picture everyone in the audience in their underwear and you'll be all right. That's my theory. And it reinforced it. God rest his soul, but he never looked at Ted Kennedy. I totally fucked up his speech. He'd have been like, our country is strong. We got Al-Qaeda on the run and oh geez, it's going to take a lot of whiskey to obliterate this one. Probably the same effect as seeing me with my shirt off. You know what though? He also said we're finally having erections in Iraq. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
That was some of the funniest shit I've seen. What he needed was Robert Gibbs. That man can spin anything, I swear. He would have been up there and be like, no, the president didn't say we're having erections in Iraq. He's using his Scooby-Doo voice. We're finally having erections in Iraq. How many Democrats we got here? Glad to hear it, because I got something for you too. Y'all guys said Bush was stupid, but you give us Biden. But at least he's vice president. Honestly, you know what? I gotta say I like him though. Don't get me wrong. I like him because I'm watching CNN one day at work. All right, and he's on CNN. It was during a swine flu scare. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. And during the swine flu scare, he was like talking to the anchor, and she's like, Joe, what do you have to say about the swine flu? And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. You just keep going on trains and planes and being around people. You got nothing to fear. And then in the same breath that anchor asked him, she said, what are you telling your family? And he says, oh, I've told them to stay off of planes and trains and stay the hell away from everybody and be scared as hell. I'm thinking, thank you, Heavenly Father, thank you, because you finally gave us a politician that'll tell us the truth. Whether he intends to or not. You know, the man would write a tell-all book. Too bad we've heard it already. So, anyway, that's all the time I got. I don't want to get tackled. So you guys have a good night, and thanks for putting up with me. Woo!